Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Fan mail.
Now let's start the show.
Thank you.
What's the deal with YouTube on the Nintendo 3DS? It's like YouTube on the new Nintendo 3DS with the ground. I got the notification, and I'm sure others have at this point, about the whole thing with YouTube. The app is going away for the Nintendo 3DS and 3DS XL and the 2DS and 2DS XL and whatever. It's going away. And I think actually it's going away technically on all of them. But the way this notification was worded, it says that you'll still be able to watch YouTube through the browser on the new variants of the 3DS, which makes me think that what that means is that either the builds going forward for YouTube's 3DS app, or 3DS load up when you go through that browser or whatever, however that works, is going to be optimized for those systems and not going to run on the older ones anymore, or they didn't run on the browser through those very well in the first place, so you had to go to the app, and now because they're discontinuing that app because the 3DS is old, you're going to have to go to, the browser on one of the devices that can handle playing YouTube through a browser, for as long as that's viable. And I don't know that this is real significant, honestly. I don't. I think it's probably not very significant, honestly. It's just interesting. Because this is, I feel like, to me, other than, I guess, Miiverse went away, but I felt like that was a thing that was, it was made, I believe, for the Wii U, and then it sort of migrated over to the 3DS. I think that's how that went. And then that went under, it felt like more of a failing of the Wii U than anything. But seeing this feels like the first step towards the 3DS actually kind of going away. We're getting the Switch Lite coming out. That's a thing they're going to be putting out that's going to kind of supplant the 3DS. They're going to say it's not going to replace it, but they said that about the Switch and, not replacing the Wii U, and it did. The Switch Lite is going to replace the 3DS. It's maybe not going to be what we want or as satisfying as some things that you get with your 3DS, but that's what it's aiming to overthrow, and it's going to do it because the Switch is really popular, and having a handheld one is going to be a great idea, and it's going to work, and that kind of, and the Switch Lite itself, it's a whole nother bag of worms and a whole other can of ass to talk about. But I just thought it was interesting that YouTube was going away on the 3DS. We're starting to see the 3DS get kind of phased out. I know the releases have kind of dwindled for the thing, but they've still been putting stuff out for fairly recently still. So it is kind of interesting to see them starting to scale that back. And I think we're going to see a pretty hard stop on 3DS stuff going into the Switch Lite and going forward. And I think we're not going to have a Nintendo handheld. We're going to have the Switch as the console and the handheld. And that's just going to be where they're going with it. And I don't think we're going to have a separation anymore, which could be good, could be bad, but however you feel about that, I think that means 3DS games are going to get cheaper. I think it means the 3DS systems are going to get cheaper as features are being cut. And I think we're talking about getting into the interesting era of the 3DS where we're going to see how it holds up while that support starts dying. Because the Wii U still has a little bit going, but even that's pretty close to being out of that and just being a system of okay, this is now an off-the-shelf system, or however you want to put it. A system where, some older systems, I love Nintendo 64, for example. I probably made that pretty clear. But, that's a system where it's hey, let's look at that, and that's not getting new games put out anymore. And that didn't really have the same kinds of services. There were some services and stuff for, repairs, or, hotline stuff, or guides, or whatever, being out there. But that stuff's all done. And that's still, one of those systems that people will still pick it up and play that and buy that. That's, that's a thing. not so much with, you know, not so much with something more recent. So like, it's going to be interesting to see how it holds up as a system that isn't currently supported, I guess. And I'm kind of interested to see if people still love it as much as they claimed they did when it was popular and active and had all these things connected to it. Once it's off that support, can it really sustain itself as a great system without it? That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, it's also relevant just because we're on YouTube. Hi, hello, this is where we are right now. Holy shit. Holy shit, if you're watching this on Pornhub, somebody scammed you good. I mean, you didn't lose any money, I guess, unless it was like a paid video, but you would have seen my face in the thumbnail, I guess, or something. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know how uploading stuff to Pornhub works. I've only browsed the stuff. I've never bought a clip on Pornhub. I've never uploaded a clip myself to Pornhub. So, like, what the fuck? What the fuck do I know about Pornhub other than watching stuff on it? And what stuff? You don't want to see my history. I watched weird shit. It was weird enough that you would want to see what I'm watching for porn. But to see the weird stuff I'm watching for porn, I mean, what the fuck? What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal